Hey, Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the Once Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, hello and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield, and I'm joined on the phone remotely from his apartment over there in the San Gabriel Valley. Not in the San Fernando Valley. That's right.
SGV, baby.
It's Mike Regalado
Big applause, Big Mike.
from Bruin Report Online.
We do something different here, Jake.
What's that?
We don't have sidewalks, and it's hot.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's pretty much the SB
Very similar to
SFB
lots,
as well.
very similar to lots of the valley. Only you have the hat, and we have like more.
Yes.
I think we have more of I don't know, more stuff, different stuff, but whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, Mike, it's good to see you. And we are really in the first. That's the first podcast after Big Ten Media Day. Neither of us got to go this
Mhm.
year, which it was a bummer for me, especially because it was so close in Vegas. I'm kind of resigned to
Yeah.
the fact that I won't be able to go to another one until I'm actually retired, with the state of my department and the personnel issues that we have. But that's okay. I'm not going to cry about it. It was fun to watch some of the stuff on the internet and all that stuff, and seeing the UCLA guys as well as some of the other guys across the Big Ten Conference talking. We saw next week's guest on the show, handsome Wayne Cook, on there with almost as handsome Nick Coop, talking to all the UCLA representatives. That was fun. We're going to talk to Wayne Cook next week, which we're very excited
Mhm.
about. And
Mhm.
Mike, like you had to watch a remote. Do you think, or do we know if the media days are going to be in Vegas all the time, or is the Big Ten going to switch it around? I feel like you're going to switch
No,
it
I
around.
think
aren't
it
they?
is. I think they are switching it around. Yeah, I don't know what year. I mean, could look it up. Yeah, I think they might be switching it up, but this was a good idea for them to, come west, see what happens on this side of the Rockies, as it is a Midwest centric conference. But yeah, no, the one thing that is a little bit annoying though, it's like, yeah, sure, you have 18 teams, but this can't be done on 1 or 2 days.
Yeah,
Like,
three
for the 3
big
days, I'm like,
That's a lot.
like that Tuesday, I get up and not even get up. It was like at 11, where Petiti,
woke
the
up
Big
with
Ten
the crack of 11, Mike.
commissioner, seriously, and he had a lot of interesting stuff to say.
Yeah.
But then I just didn't really care about most of the teams in day 2, so I didn't really see anything. Excuse me. And then UCLA is up on day 3, Thursday, so it's just kind of a disconnect. And yeah, sure, it's fun. You're in Vegas or wherever it is. They're going to have it, but they kind of need to bring it down a bit.
Consolidate a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's 18
Yeah,
freaking teams. It's just
consolidate.
insane. But anyways, we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. I do want to open the show properly. It is the What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you for your support on the the Instagram, Threads, Twitter, all that stuff. We're at What's Bruin Show. Probably be a little more active now that we're getting close to the season. I'm sure we'll be posting more stuff on there. You can email the show at what'sbruinshow@gmail.com. We would love to hear what you think about the Bruins coming up this year. You can pay just a little bit of money and get the special bonus feed of the What's Bruin Show for just how much, Mike?
$2.
And that's
$2.
at the Substack or at the Patreon, what'sbruin.substack.com or patreon.com/what'sbruinshow or just what'sbruinshow.com. There hasn't been a lot of extra content on there recently, but there's going to be a little bit more up there now. Also, you get access to our Slack channel and get to talk with some of our super fans on there, which is fun, especially when we get into football season for sure. And, so that's a way to support the show, and we appreciate your support. Just out here doing our thing. And also, you could search the show up on YouTube. Just search What's Bruin Show and look for the UCLA stuff, not the Boston Bruins stuff. Yeah, it is kind of confusing. Did you see that game the Dodgers played against the Red Sox the other day, Mike, where the Boston Red Sox were wearing blue and gold? Very UCLA.
Oh no,
coloring.
but I've seen it before. It looks like what the hell are they doing? Yeah,
It
it looks
does
like
look
Bruins baseball.
Their hats look weird.
Uniform.
Their hats look cool. Their shirts were kind of weird with that, just that bright yellow they had. But anywho,
And then the stencil of Boston. I'm just like, nah, dude, go with the old school Boston Red Sox logo.
yeah. And anyways, F Boston for sure. But also, you can call us on the hotline The hotline number is 805-399-4WBS.
WBS.
Second Rain of Troy. And speaking of Rain of Troy, I think we're going to be hooking up with them. We're going to have Wayne Cook on next Tuesday. And then I think later in the week, we're going to talk to Rain of Troy. And that might not get published next week. It might be over the weekend or the following week. But regardless, we're going to have them over for a nice talk. And I can't wait for that as well. Back from a cruise, those two are, where they were actually on a cruise with some of their listeners, kind of accidentally.
To Alaska, right?
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, to Alaska. But speaking of the hotline, we got one call. I actually had a call from Carrie. God bless Carrie. We love you, Carrie. Please start calling the show again, Carrie. But like it got caught up in the ether like in June something or other. I don't think we ever played it, Carrie, and I apologize deeply. You know how much we love you. But Leo just called, and Leo, a privileged member of the What's Bruin show audience, seeing as he actually has my direct line. Like he shoots me a text when he sends a hotline call. And, you know, I can't provide that for everybody, but for Leo, he's in the circle. And we still owe him a gift, too. Like, 'cause he won the NCAA tournament thing. Some other schlep won the NCAA tournament, like the women's or the men's. I don't know if Leo won the women's. I don't know if he won the men's. He won something. So we owe him something. So I'm going to indulge his, you know, text to my personal cell phone. I'm fine with that, Leo. You're all good. You got the green light. Anyways, Leo called, and he told me that he called. So now I'm not going to forget to play his call. So here is Leo's call on the What's Bruin hotline, 805-399-4WBS.
Hey guys, it's Leo from Long Beach. Sorry I haven't called in a couple months, but I do continue to support, loyal listener. Love the work you're doing. You guys crack me up with the rainbows, shooting rainbows out of your ass or something. That's hilarious. So hitting the road this year at Northwestern and at UNLV. Wondering if you guys are thinking of any away games you can watch our Bruins. That's it. Let's enjoy the rest couple of weeks before the season starts. Enjoy the summer and go Bruins.
Thank you very much, Leo. Mikey, are you thinking of any Bruin road games, first of all?
That UNLV one is tempting.
Very effing tempting, Mike, especially since I missed Big Ten Media Day in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But
we do the schedule of prior to the season, so I don't know exactly who's going to be going to the road games. But I would like to go.
You're talking about
to the UNLV game.
You're talking about who's going to the road games as a member of Bro, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I would love to go to the UNLV game, but if I don't, I won't be that mad because Oasis is playing at the Rose Bowl that night.
Are you going to go see Oasis at the Rose Bowl?
If I don't go to Vegas, yeah.
Wait, that's the show that they're playing. Is like who's opening for them? Like the Strokes or some shit? Something good.
I don't know, but that's
a good consolation prize. Except for, have you ever watched a show at the Rose Bowl in the big giant Rose Bowl? I saw the Eagles there.
No, I haven't. Yes, it seems kind of problematic depending on where you sit, but you know, it's all right. Last time I saw the only time I saw Oasis was at Staples Center, and I was not on the floor. I was actually in the upper bowl, which actually I was in the middle bowl, and that actually wasn't too bad considering I was on the opposite side because I actually had a pretty good view. But I can imagine that it might be a little bit weirder.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Mike!
At the Rose Bowl,
I actually should be at this goddamn concert with you, but the reason I'm not going, except for maybe I will go, I'll explain in a minute. I misremembered who they were opening for, but I remembered it was one of my favorite bands. That it's Cage the Elephant and Oasis. Cage the Elephant being a band that I've seen live like 5 times now, and it's the Merrifield. It's probably pound for pound the favorite band in the Merrifield household, meaning that like 4 out of the 5 people in the household listen to them regularly. So that's a big one for us. But the thing is that I really want to go to that UNLV game. Molly is leaving the country. My middle daughter is leaving the country on this Thursday, to go to Thailand. And she doesn't come back until the day after her birthday, which is September 6th, I think. And I don't remember whether she gets back in the morning or in the afternoon. But, like, I think I'm probably going to try to go to that UNLV game and not go to Oasis and KGL, FYI. But, like, if I could swing both of those, that would be pretty epic.
Yeah. Dude.
But if you go on the 7th, go on the 6th. And get us tickets.
There are 2 shows?
Yeah, I just added. Both sold out.
Oh.
And oh my God.
I missed that.
Liam, what's the other brother's name? Liam and
Noel
Noel. Yeah, they both
Gallagher.
look
Yeah.
old AF and very grouchy.
Hell yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I'm just looking at the Rose Bowl.
But quick side note, Jake, there's so many freaking good shows. I'm gonna go see Pulp in September.
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails, Underworld, The Faint. Dude, this is insane. I'm gonna.
We're going to a show
so much
tomorrow
money.
night. Me and you and Laconic Matt.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. My second half of the year started with Murder City a couple weeks ago. Yeah, tomorrow night we're going to see Deltron 3030, and that's the reason why we're not recording on a Tuesday and recording on Monday, because we're busy people. We have lives. We have hip hop history lives.
That's right. Well, anyways, get back to Leo's question, though, Mike. Okay, we're talking about
Sorry.
road games.
Yes. Anyway, so
I'm going to UNLV tentatively. I may not be able to, but I'm going to try to. There was a world in which I may have been going to Northwestern, but I'm not, because the Godfather, Jim Bendat, the best Northwestern grad that we'll ever meet and that we know, and there's a personal friend of ours, said he's not even going because he doesn't want any part of that shantytown temporary stadium that only has seats in the end zone, even though it's on a lake. So he's not going, I'm not going. So that's why I'm not going to Northwestern. And I don't know if that influences your opinion, Leo. And then, go ahead.
It would be kind of nice to see that, especially like, wow, yeah, we went to a game during one of at one of the makeshift stadiums because they're renovating or completely building a new one. I forget what it was. I think they're completely building a new stadium, but yeah,
I feel like
that'd be cool. Also because it's Chicago. I love Chicago.
Yeah, and Chicago's great. So I would be going to that game, but I'm not going to because of advice from the Godfather, and also it's going to turn out that I'm going to be somewhere. I think I'm going to be in San Diego that weekend, maybe watching Megan march in the band for the Golden Bears. Go Bears!
Oh, but, nice to play San Diego State.
Yeah. So actually, that's not true at all. I'm going to that game before that. The Northwestern game, actually, I could theoretically go to because I'm off that week. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just decide to go anyway. So anyway, let's go to the next road game. The next road game is on October 11th, Spartan Stadium, Mikey. At some point, I want to get to East Lansing. This is not the year I have any desire to go to East Lansing. I don't want to go to that game. I don't know if anybody else wants to go to that game. Not my cup of tea at this point. How do you feel about that one?
You know what's weird? I'd rather I would want to go during the colder months. I just want to experience that.
You want to
I wouldn't mind.
The sleet
hells yeah! I don't want to go to Michigan. I don't want to see a Michigan State football game when it's hot.
You want to see the dirty streets of frozen streets of East Lansing? Is that what you want to go see? Okay, that's fine. I understand.
Hells yeah!
So then the next one would be at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, Indiana. That game, I don't know. I mean, me and you are both kind of bullish on the Bruins, but I don't think either of us are expecting them to win that game. I don't think if I'm going to go to Bloomington, it's going to be for a game in which I'm not relatively assured that the Bruins are going to win. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to sign up for that one. And then, of course, there's the one that they're almost certainly not going to win. We said about Indiana, but even more so about Ohio State on November 15th. That one's a little too close in proximity to, number one, the Grizzlies football team meeting on one end, league meeting for the National Public Safety Football League on the first part of that, and then the back half of it's Thanksgiving. So I don't think I'm going to be able to swing Ohio State as much as Columbus is a wonderful town. And I've actually been in the Horseshoe, but I've never watched a game there. But there's probably never a good year to go to Columbus to watch Ohio State kick your team's ass. So that one doesn't really matter about the competitive stakes of it. I'd almost rather go to Ohio State when I'm fairly certain they're going to beat the shit out of my team, as opposed to going there on a big game with stakes and then they lose. Then all of a sudden I'm just like despondent. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about that one. Maybe that's a little bit of a loser mentality, but that's a big trip to take. But anybody that is going to the Horseshoe this year, I will say Columbus is an awesome town. That stadium is an awesome stadium, and you're probably gonna have a great time. So I don't begrudge you of that. It's kind of like when I went to LSU last year. It was kind of that sort of trip. So that's that. And then the final road game is, of course, at the Mausoleum against the Trojans. So and whether I go to that every year is kind of like a coin flip. And I think that's for you as well, Mikey. So what did we learn? We learned that I might go to UNLV. There's probably like a very, very, very low probability I would go to Northwestern. And after that, I ain't going to nothing. And how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel the same. Like, it would be cool to go to those, and we probably should, but it'd be fine if I don't.
Yeah. So I hope that information was useful for you, Leo. Keep your head on a swivel when you're in Vegas, and maybe you'll find me or Mike. Other than that, probably not. But that's cool. And any Bruin fans who want to travel this year, hopefully the team acquits itself well, right? That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice. Okay. So, anyways, let's get the Brofield headlines because Mike has some women's basketball he wants to talk about.
I would like to avoid the basketball shows for as long as possible.
Mike, it's Big Ten Media Day for football. We just had that. I really don't want to talk about basketball until like December anymore. But you still want to talk about it. So what do you want to say?
Well, there is some kind of breaking news that could affect a good chunk of the season. Because on Instagram last
breaking
week.
News? Hold on, breaking news?
Yeah, breaking news.
What's brewing? Breaking news on a weekly basis.
News just in.
All right, Mike, lay it on me.
Kiki Rice posted on Instagram last Wednesday that she had shoulder surgery. We saw the tape on her shoulder all season long. Apparently, it was just not 100%. So she actually had surgery. But from what we're hearing, it might keep her out for the start of the season at least. I don't know if it's going to be a month or two, but
Bummer.
yeah. And the weird thing is that like I had started writing this article, which I released last week. If I put all the information together, had it already about, what is the situation? Because the last thing I talked about were the additions of new transfer players.
And they just got a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Had it all ready, and then just blew that to hell because
that's what happened, right?
Yeah, with Kiki,
Mike's gonna publish his article.
With Kiki Rice not starting, I talked about how we don't even know what Leisure Walker's what her status is. She could start, but would she start with the Neepkins in the mix? Well, it seems that now Leisure Walker does have a clearer path to start the season just because Kiki Rice will be out. So that will suck. And then getting Kiki back to 100%. Yeah, how is she going to be when she gets back? But that throws a little bit of a wrench into the system, especially during the non-conference where they actually do have a few tough games. But hopefully Leisure Walker's up to the task. She's a very good basketball player up at Washington State, and should continue to be that way. The one thing I hear about her is that she has a huge IQ, like she has like a coaching mentality. But yeah, so that's going to affect the Bruins' chemistry to start the season. So that sucks. So right now it seems that
that it's something that costs her the season, or you're fairly confident she's still going to play?
No, she should play, but she'll probably miss some time to start the season. So I'm not sure if it'll be
okay. That's fine.
I mean, if she recovers quickly enough, maybe she only misses 3 games. It's probably a little bit more significant than that. So, but with
not
that,
so much to cost her a season like we're expecting Juju across town. It's not one of those things.
No, not at all.
Right,
although
that's
if that was the case and she misses the season, that actually would help for the roster going forward, because after the season, UCLA loses 8 players, I believe?
Yeah.
7 or 8 players?
Yeah. But would you rather have
I don't want that.
An absolute death star this season as opposed to having spacing it out?
Yeah. No. I want Kiki Rice firing on all cylinders, back in the Final Four, dishing the bets, hitting Neepkins in the 3. Yeah, I want it all. Damn it. But yeah, that's
what I want, Mike.
Get to the chopper!
That's what I want.
The chop. I'm already in the chopper, baby.
Good job.
Hi, bro.
Is there any more Brofield headlines?
No.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So, Mikey, let's get right to, I guess, the football talk and all that nonsense.
Blue 32! Blue 32! California! Hey! Football.
Okay, so Mikey, the big storyline coming out of we just had Big Ten Media Days, right? And UCLA was there for the second year for the coming from the Pac-12, going into the Big Ten. It's gonna be their second football season, second school year of sports. And before we start talking about the actual football stuff, I really enjoyed the interview that UCLA Athletics had with Martin Jarmond on their little YouTube channel. I recommend you guys go look at it. And it's like he really put it in perspective a little bit in that he listed across all the sports how well UCLA did just as a whole as an athletic program. And it was pretty impressive, the string of accomplishments they had. And obviously we want to see more from football and we want to see more from men's basketball, but it was still pretty darn epic just from that standpoint. UCLA's first in the Big Ten. Now, football wasn't
Well, we
overwhelming.
talked about that a few weeks ago.
We did.
So
yeah.
So thanks for the shout out, Martin.
It's just nice to hear. Yeah, for guest of the show, Martin Jarmond. And he has been on our airways. But it's fun to hear that. And then we get into the actual football talk. And last year, the story was, the generic storylines for UCLA football, which was completely anonymous heading into last season after Chip Kelly left him in the lurch. They hired Deshaun Foster late. Deshaun Foster hires Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. And the storylines that survived to the start of the season last year were, oh, gee whiz, Eric Bieniemy, he's really going to do something with this offense, which turned out to be an absolute lie, and I was terrified of it right from the beginning. And then the other thing was Deshaun Foster had his Foster flub at the Big Ten Media Day last year, where he walks out and he kind of blinks, right?
Foster flub.
And so that's what was kind of the only when people talked about UCLA football last year, those were the two things they started talking about because there really wasn't much to talk about on the field until like the back half of the season. This year, UCLA is not nearly as anonymous because they were part of one of the biggest stories across college football, and that is when Nico Iamaleava transfers into the program, taking number 9, not number 8, by the way. And so that automatically was going to put them on the radar this year a little bit. But kind of as we kind of predicted, a month or two ago, there is a lot of, oh, yeah, well, they got Nico now, but UCLA lost all these guys, and Deshaun Foster can't talk in public, and so they're actually kind of worse than they were, and we'll see how Nico does, but we don't really like Nico anyway because he sounds like a dick because he asked for more money from Tennessee, and yada, yada, yada. So this is the first time, number one, that Foster nationally had a chance to kind of redeem what he did last year. This is the first time, really, that Nico has been in the public eye addressing the questions about what happened with Tennessee. And then you also brought Garrett DiGiorgio and John Vaughns fresh off concluding his baseball career. But those were the things going into this. We're going to talk about Foster first, Mike, but I want to talk about Foster and Nico, and then I want to talk about the other Bruins that were there. What did you think about Foster's performance on the big stage, giving his address to the media?
Yeah, it was definitely quite a change from what we saw last year when he flubbed. We're in LA. Silence. No, this year he came out in a pretty freaking sweet suit, which I put on the Twitters. I was like, stop keeping secrets, Deshaun. Who's your tailor? Answer me. And his wife answered saying, "It's me." I'm like, "Oh, damn, these are sweet."
Well, that's funny. I didn't see that.
Yeah, so apparently she's the stylist, which I gotta maybe get a number because those were some sweet ass suits. Anyway,
hey Mike,
came out, had notes.
Mike,
yeah.
Part of it is having following the fashion advice, and then the other half of it is having the NFL bankroll to be able to afford whatever the hell it is he's wearing. So I don't know if either of us can afford those duds.
We'll see. We'll see if we can get a discount, Bruin discount.
That's good. I like it.
But no, he came out. You could tell that he rehearsed this.
For sure.
Had a script. His cadence was just on fire. Just bam, bam, bam. These are my points. Made fun of himself a little bit. Said we're still in LA. But one of the things that I really liked, obviously he's doing an introductory presser. He's not going to get into the deep questions until the breakout sessions. So he's just talking about the team, and he feels that they've improved. And one of the things that I liked that he said was that we're not here to demand respect; we're here to earn it. And there was just an air of confidence that we usually see from Deshaun Foster, but there's just he knew what he was doing this time. It's his second time doing this. He knows what to expect. Comes in with a game plan and just knocks it out of the park. Also, pretty ballsy to have bring in Nico Iamaleava, and obviously you tend to bring your big guns.
There's
But,
0% chance Chip Kelly would have brought Nico. I think 0% chance.
Oh, very much.
I was very happy
totally
Deshaun brought him.
Totally agree with you. And they answered the questions head on. They didn't skirt around it, but maybe Nico said that it was about
well, I want to hold
playing.
Yeah, I want to hold
Okay,
Nico for a minute.
talk about Nico.
I was still with Deshaun, but so that
but
Mike,
but as
Mike,
but just really quickly with Foster, just really cleaned it up. Just you can only go up from last year's introductory presser, but he went above and beyond from that. He didn't just go, okay, well, this is what we're doing. No, he broke it down. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to be made the butt of jokes this year, and he's not. Nobody's talking about that. Everyone's talking about how it was like, damn, he knocked that out of the park. Okay, this guy's serious. He knows what's up. And I think that's just kind of that epitomizes what we might see with UCLA going into the second year.
That remains to be seen. I don't know.
Totally.
I watched. Obviously, I think we're optimistic, but I mean, we don't really know because of all the new faces. But that's a whole other story. As far as Foster's,
all we know is that we don't know nothing.
That's right, Mikey. Thank you. Foster's appearance at the Big Ten, conference, in front of everybody. If I wanted to characterize it, good, adequate, knocked it out of the park. I definitely wouldn't say knocked it out of the park because he's still up there on stage. Like, I don't know. I'm someone who, like, for a long time did public speaking just as my gig. And so, I'm not tooting my horn at all, but I'm like, when I was watching him up there, he's obviously not comfortable doing that sort of stuff. I think when we talk about when they get to the breakout groups, he's so much more comfortable in that situation. So he was still like, he did so much better than he did last year, but he still had to like wipe his brow because he had the flop sweat going. He still had these pauses and he was like clearing his throat a bunch, So as far as polished, he
had sniffles too.
If he would have come out last year and given the same speech he gave this year, no one would have said anything about it. They would have said, oh, maybe he's a little stiff or something like that. And this would have moved on. It would have not been a story at all. The fact that he colossally failed made it a story last year. So what he did this year, in my opinion, up on the big stage was adequate and just fine, okay? And that's all he needs to be up there because I don't think that's where he's going to shine anyway. I don't think he's ever going to be one of these guys that comes off as a big, charismatic speaker, of some great leader in that way, shape, or form. But I think what his strength is, and I want you to comment on this too, Mike, is when you actually started seeing him talk to the smaller groups, he's talking to the guys from Cover 3, when he's talking to the UCLA staff, when he's talking to the Big Ten group of guys that they had, those commentators, I thought he came off so much better. And he did that last year as well. Like he came off pretty good last year in those smaller things. That's not what made headlines. But this is a guy, and I think the testament to this is one of the talking points this year was how hard his team played last year, even though they didn't win a lot of games. And that's something me and you, Mike, said all last year. And I think Deshaun Foster is very good one-on-one, one-on-four in these smaller groups. And I think he's a very likable, charismatic guy. And you could see how he relates to the players. You could see how he could be a motivator of men. It's just one of his particular gifts is not talking to thousands of people at a time. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Mike, what did you think about him versus, in the smaller groups?
Oh, it just seemed like you just hit it on the head. He did better in the smaller groups last year than in the main stage. Same thing. It just seemed like his confidence grew a little bit more. He felt more comfortable, standing there, in his suit, in his fancy suit. Just not one of the things I noticed about Deshaun Foster in his first year is that sometimes when he doesn't know an answer, instead of saying something like, oh, I'll get back to, or let me think about that, he has a pause, like a long pause, 10-second pause. It's like, ooh, this is getting awkward the longer you don't speak. Didn't really have that in any of those in any of those breakout sessions. And he just felt more comfortable, especially with obviously he knows the LA media, so he seemed really comfortable during that interview. And then in the larger one, just Mr. Super Cool from Reservoir Dogs. Looking in the mirror, you're super cool. He's just a guy that just had confidence and knew exactly what he needed to do. I just thought, just with every waking moment that he's doing this, he's getting more experience. He's understanding how to play the game, and not just look the part, but talk the talk. So
I thought it was. Go ahead. You
No, I
thought-
was just saying. I just thought it was just way better all around during all the interviews.
Certainly. And I think he got,
Yeah.
he definitely raises the bar for the big group thing, but he'll actually get credit for being genuine in the smaller group things. And I think that's where you needed to be. It doesn't need to be anything spectacular. And at some point they have to speak for themselves on the field. And that's something that I came away from his talking points that I liked. Number one, he was talking about how his guys played hard last year. Number two was talking about how he had a staff. He was working on the fly last year, learning on the job. This year, he's got a whole year under his belt. He's added pieces of the staff that he likes, and they're trying to, or they're showing that they're improving. And also, he talked about representing West Coast football in a positive light, making LA and West Coast football visible again in a positive light. And I like that. It's like, you don't hear Lincoln Riley talking about that nonsense. He's too busy defending whether or not he's going to cancel the Notre Dame game. So I think if Deshaun Foster wants to have a gritty, rough, hard-nosed team that represents West Coast football in the Big Ten well, and look, are they going to win 10 games this year? Nobody thinks that except for Dez, because Dez is a crazy person, listener Dez. But if they are competitive in all these games, it's a very tough it's a very tough schedule, all in all. But Mike, me and you think that on an optimistic side, they are going to be going to a bowl game plus, and that's fine. They might be way better than that. The problem is there's so many new moving parts. They might be way worse than that too. But if you're listening to the talking points that Deshaun had, working hard, represent West Coast well. They're working on recruiting, and they are they have these new coaches that are that are motivated and hungry. That all sounds great to me. So as far as that goes, I think UCLA had, and then we'll talk about the other part of this that they had to tackle, which was the Nico Iamaleava situation. I think UCLA had about as good of a media day as it could have had, starting with Deshaun's chunk of it and then getting to the other players. Do you think that's a fair assessment, Mike?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about Nico. Okay, so the first thing we heard before they even had interviews was Nico's wearing number 9 and not number 8. Mike, it was a little bit of a minor controversy of sorts in our circle as to whether or not he should be able to get Aikman's number out of retirement. I was not in favor of that, but I wouldn't have been absolutely pissed if it happened. I don't know where you landed on that, but it looks like we don't have to worry about it. What do you think about Nico being number 9, not number 8?
Yeah, I'm fine. Retired numbers are retired numbers for a reason. And just if you're coming in saying, "Oh, I want that number," it's like, look, there's a legacy before you. Just bow down to it, accept it, and just move on. And he did. I heard that he was trying to get use of it, but eventually ended up on number 9. I just think if a number is retired, respect the retirement. But yeah, he's picking number 9, one more than number 8. So, maybe that fuels him to do one more of everything this coming season.
9's a good number. So we find that out, and then he's actually showing up and doing all these interviews, and him more than anybody else associated with UCLA this year, more than Foster, more than the other 2 players that went there. That's the guy that the national media wanted to latch onto for all sorts of reasons, whether it is to try to get him to answer for what they perceive as his crimes of getting out of Tennessee, or just, figuring out what his situation is. So his bad rap coming out of Tennessee, as everybody knows, is did he or did he not put the screws to the Tennessee administration, ask them to pay him more for staying around after playing with the team up through the playoff where they lost? Or was there other situations? Why did he come up? So his talking point for Big Ten Media Day was downplaying any of the money questions and the leaving Tennessee and just kind of taking the high road, which I appreciate. He's a very well-spoken dude. And he just focused on his canned answer was family. I want to be close to family. There was a storyline about his mother being a cancer survivor, him coming back, playing with his brother as well, who came back from Arkansas after spring camp there. And that was the talking point. I thought he steered the conversations back to the talking point as well as he could, and he sounded I'm very impressed with him. Big, tall, lanky dude. I can't wait to see him on the field. And he's got me super motivated about the Bruins. Whether you're a believer in Nico or not, I think he had a pretty good Big Ten Media Day. Did anything stick out to you, Mike?
No, just the fact that he was getting asked all these questions and he was just cool, calm, collected. He's like, you know, I'm not. It's not about money. I want to play in front of family. I want to come home. Let's play some ball. And hell, you know, what more can you do? I mean, if they really wanted to get some views, I'm sure that, you know, Nico could have been like, you know what, I don't need to answer these questions, but really, who's going to do that these days?
Or
Big Ten Media Days are there for fun, for prep for the season. So I don't think he wanted to make waves anyway. And I'm sure he did not want to get UCLA in any sort of trouble,
Certainly.
or himself. But I think he did a really good job in handling himself.
You know what I hear, though? He's already hired a manicurist to paint FTENN on his fingernails for the game against Utah. So I don't know how that's going to go.
Oh dear.
That's absolutely not true. I don't think he's going to do that. But I mean, that's what I was impressed with.
Is it the same guy hired by Caleb Wilson? Or Caleb Williams?
That's what I was referencing, of course. Yes. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm saying. I don't get any.
His guy.
We don't know how he's going to perform on the field. We do know that he played a whole football season in the SEC and went to a playoff. If you listen to how people characterize his season in the SEC, it's either, oh my God, this guy's a stud and he's big and tall and strong, long-armed, big arm and great footwork. That's what Wayne Cook will tell you. Or if you listen to other national media pundits, they're like, well, Tennessee, despite him, he held the ball too long. He didn't get rid of the ball, even in their wacky, weird Pop Warner system. And they're not believer in his talent. I don't really care about one side or the other of that argument, but to say that, and this is the next question I have for you, Mike, he is certainly the best option that UCLA could have dreamed of in the 2025 season without any reservations.
Hell yeah.
Came back, fell in their lap, and that instantly improved the quarterback room of UCLA football by, levels of magnitude. And so I am thrilled that he is in Westwood, and I am thrilled to go out and watch him play. And seeing how tall and lanky and he is, so that it's really going to be fun. No reservations. I am a huge Nico fan, and I can't wait to see him play. Now, Mike, the question I want to ask for you is, if you think about UCLA football, as bad as they have been record-wise relative to their history in the aughts and the 2010s and now the 2020s, they actually have had a shit ton of really good quarterbacks come through Westwood in the last 20, 25 years, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think Nico rates as far as with the other elite prospects that have come into Westwood in the last, we could just say in the last 12-ish years, starting with Brett Hundley, then you go to Josh Rosen, then you go to DTR, and then you go to the season we had with Dante Moore and all of his throwing pick sixes to the house. On the how do you feel about Nico playing for the Bruins relative to how you felt about Hundley or Rosen or Moore, or DTR? What are you thinking?
Oh, I love it. And, not to take anything away from Ethan Garbers, but, dude had a hell of an arm. He did what he could for UCLA. But maybe it was just overall circumstances. But, just having a
Ethan got a bum rap, for sure. But he's not in this question.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Yeah, UCLA has had a lineage of solid quarterbacks. And after DTR and just watching recruiting, I was like, okay, UCLA really isn't getting someone that can come in here and be a game changer. And then, to use your words, Nico fell in Deshaun Foster's lap. And now we have a stud. And he could totally change the trajectory of UCLA football. Because even at the beginning, before spring, you and I were saying, are they only going to win 4 or 5 games this season? Can they win 6, be bowl eligible? Now it seems like more of a situation where they should be bowl eligible, and how many wins can they get in total?
Yeah.
I like.
I was going to say, I'm solid behind the idea that we were hoping they could be bowl eligible before they got Nico, and then when they got Nico, now we're like, well, could they get to 8? Could they get to 9? I mean, that would be the high end of the ceiling. I think that'd be crazy if they did, but I think it's doable now if everything pans out for them, right?
Yeah.
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. So I mean, but okay,
very much so. Yeah.
So Mike, in your mind's eye, I want you I'm going to come back to the question. I want you to rank excitement level. Think about younger Mike, more than a decade ago. Think how just like young and dumb and naive we were before we even started podcasting. And Jim Mora comes to town as our coach, and Rick Neuheisel does him the favor of like stowing away Brett Hundley. And then we see Brett Hundley come out and like his first play from scrimmage or whatever was like a 80-yard touchdown run. Think about that, Brett Hundley. And then think about Josh Rosen.
72, Jake.
Whatever it was. And then Josh Rosen comes out and it's like he's in a hot tub with chicks, and Michael Hanna is literally like having, just he's in spasms of joy when he thinks about Josh Rosen like throwing the ball or whatever, and like before, he became a hitting dummy for the opposing teams. And then think about how elated we were when Chip Kelly actually went out and pulled Dante Moore from Oregon, and how much that was going to pan out. Or think about DTR before we actually saw him running around like a chicken with his head cut off in that first season. Subbing in for what was that? Wilton Spate? Wasn't it Wilton Spate? Yeah. Yeah. Where are you on your excitement level for Nico Iamaleava?
Oh, I'm very excited. I think the fact that he did fall in Deshaun Foster's lap is why it's so exciting. And there's just like nervous energy in the air, kind of like giddiness. Like, we don't want to be overly excited, but hell, we have a freaking stud at quarterback. And then just mixing that with what we think Tino Sinceri can do, if he's going to be anything similar to what Indiana, if he's bringing the offense that is similar to what Indiana put out last season, this could be a really fun time. And we've talked about it, how, the offensive line isn't proven, but they seem to get better during spring. The receivers group, we think they're just studs there. Can they run the ball? Because that was the thing. Looking back at some of the film last year, like, geez, UCLA literally ran into a wall every time they tried to run the freaking ball.
And that to me, that was fucking scheme, but that's okay.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So I think they'll be better equipped for this, but I think it just adds to – it just feels kind of like Nico would be a guy kind of looking around, seeing all the changes that are happening, and maybe even Deshaun to a grander extent, just kind of looking around going, okay, this is what we got. LFG, baby. Let's go.
I'm right there with you. And just to put it in perspective, like I'm looking at Bruin Report online, the 24/7 Sports, recruiting rankings and all that stuff. And when Nico came out of high school, he was a .9981 rating on the cumulative, and then as a transfer, he's a .990. Okay, both those obviously extremely high ratings. Mike, let's just go with the dollar for dollar, pound for pound, whatever. We'll talk about the high school recruiter rating for what this guy's coming out of. Where do you think that 0998 lands Nico on the top 10 or top 20 or top 25 of all-time Bruin recruits? And I don't want this to scare people away because, you know how I feel about highly rated recruits. They might be good or they might be...
Hey, Mike! Where are you? Over here.
I mean, obviously, if I look at the top 5, and I'm not going to tell you where Nico fits in here because he actually may or may not fit into this top 5. But right now on Bruin Report Online, you look at the top 5 recruits of all time in Bruin history, and God, only 2 of the 5 in any way, shape, or form panned out. You can make an argument that 3 of the 5 contributed, but Jalen Phillips, UCLA, I wish I had that drop on the board right now. He's the number 1 recruit in UCLA history, and he played a season and then left. Dante Moore played a season and left after throwing numerous pick sixes to the opponent. Cheeseburger Eddie's the best Bruin recruit that actually was a good Bruin. And then Josh Rosen was a great Bruin until he got, had his head turned into a canoe. And then Mika Wars rounds it out at number 5. It's like that. The top 5 recruits in UCLA history are like a fucking, almost like a wall of shame to a degree. When you're only keeping 40% of your 5 best recruits in history, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Mike?
Oh, totally.
But what I'm saying is, if you go by Nico Iamaleava's recruiting ranking now, it's going to be 3 out of 5.
Woo! What is it? Who does he knock out?
Mike, where are you? You're gone.
Hey, Mickey!
You are out of here.
Get the F out of here, Mike. Now the top 5 is going to be Jalen Phillips, UCLA. God bless him. Dante Moore, Oregon, your Oregon Ducks starting quarterback. And then Nico. Actually, Nico is ahead of that. No, it's Jalen Phillips, then Nico, then Dante Moore, then Cheeseburger Eddie, then Josh Rosen. So, hey, 3 of the best top 5 UCLA recruits in history are actually decent Bruins. So I'm thrilled about that. That tickles the cockles of my heart. And I will tell you this, Mike. There is a chance. I don't think it's a very good chance, but we haven't seen Dante Moore play anymore. I mean, Dante Moore is going to go suit up for the Ducks, and he's trying to have a good year.
Go Bruins.
That's him saying go Bruins. But I mean, there's still a chance that his best season may be with the Bruins. That game against San Diego State or whatever, where he threw like 3 touchdowns, and it's all downhill from there. Like, I don't want to wish ill on the young man. You know, UCLA doesn't play the Ducks this year, I don't believe. But I'm not going to be rooting for Dante Moore this year. I mean, I'm not going to be rooting against him. I'm sure I'm going to be rooting for him. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe Nico moves up the rankings a little bit. I don't know if I'm making sense anymore, Mike, but
No,
it's
I get,
pretty
what, I get
cool.
what you're saying.
It's pretty cool them having getting another guy that slides into those highly recruited ranks, because the 5 stars really kind of scare me to death. But I'm excited about this one.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Mikey?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
Oh, totally.
all right. So quickly, I want to get to the other representatives that were at Big Ten Media Day. I'll never get used to that. Garrett DiGiorgio was there, and John Vaughns were there. What'd you think of those 2 very impressive young men?
Same thing. You know, they know how to. They knew exactly what to say. Nothing that stood out. Garrett is clearly looking to hold on to his starting. Hold on to a starting spot. I don't think anybody can take it away. But yeah, no, just they said what they needed to say. They all look really good doing it. All of them are like sporting glasses, just looking like proper student athletes. Yeah, but no big surprise. You know, I do like the fact that they're excited genuinely about how their position groups and, well, actually their side of the ball is performing. You know, since all of this got together in spring. But yeah, I like I like how they presented themselves. You know, no screw ups. I mean, these are guys that are taught exactly, you know, what to say and how to say. But you know, they also did it with smiles on their faces too, and just wanted to have a good time at Big Ten Media Days. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. So
The one thing that struck me about Garrett DiGiorgio, number one, I really like the idea of Andy Kwan, young blood coming in there, coaching up the offensive line. They also have had an influx of big bodies on the offensive line, which we're going to talk about that another time. But one of the things that has me bullish on the Bruins is the fact that they have a lot of big dudes on both sides of the ball right now. And hopefully what we heard from Deshaun about the defensive line and like Keanu and Gary Smith and all that stuff sounds positive to me right now. But getting back to DiGiorgio, number one, he talked about how he's had 4 offensive line coaches at UCLA in the last number of years. And I was like tripping out at that. Do you remember how many of those offensive line coaches can you actually name? Mike Regalado from Bruin.
Juan, Castillo. Oh God, who was the guy?
There's an SC reject.
Oh,
Old guy Cal.
yeah.
He was a Cal. Tim Drevno.
Oh yeah.
And then before that, Justin Fry, your boy, your BFF.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? UCLA has actually retconned. Who was the guy last year? You just said it, Juan Castillo.
Yeah.
UCLA has retconned Juan Castillo completely out of the internet. You go to the 24 staff for the UCLA Bruins, and you know who's listed as the offensive coordinator? Tino Sinceri. You know who's listed as the offensive line coach? Andy Kwan. So this is a wonderful thing. This is like breaking news, whatever. Like I'm breaking it right here. I don't know if anybody's noticed this.
Breaking news on a weekly basis.
But the Fredo Bieniemy experiment was such a colossal failure that our team, the UCLA Bruins, and I'm so proud of them for doing this, have actually retconned them out of the history books. You go to UCLABruins.com, the website of your UCLA Bruins, and you go to the coaching staff for 2024, and they actually don't even have the coaching staff for 24. It was so bad, they said, fuck this shit. We're launching these guys into the sun, and which is what they did with the enemy after it was done, and they just don't even have them listed anymore. So it's just a bad nightmare that we can just all forget. And so I appreciate that, bro. And we're moving on. We're absolutely moving on.
bro.
So I'm happy about that, Mike. I think there's a tweet there that you need to put out, Mike. Maybe I will. I'll put a snarky tweet out about that. But yeah, Castillo, Bieniemy, out of the books. I'm very happy about that.
I know, right?
The other thing that I liked about DiGiorgio is the STP motto that Kwan's brought to them. Do you remember what the STP stands for?
No.
Something to prove, not, Stone Temple Pilots. They got the offensive line.
Damn it, that's what I'm saying.
Right? Then John Vaughn's talking about his baseball career ending and how he's like leaner and meaner and ready to go. And a storyline that I wasn't expecting to hear, but I heard it from him. I heard it from Deshaun. I heard it from our friend of the show and guest next week, Wayne Cook, is that I was extremely worried about the linebacker core after losing all the dudes that they lost last year. But it sounds like between Vaughns and Chisholm and who's the third?
Woods.
Yeah, and Woods, man. It sounds like they're ready to roll. So I'm not going to be shocked when they play well in game one. I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. Which is quite an upgrade. So I'm actually, if you tell me that they're going to have Gary Smith and Keanu Williams ready to roll for the season, and then the other big guy they got, is that Tapaki? Who has that?
Tapaki,
yeah. If they have those three guys, and they have three good linebackers, and we know how Demetrius Martin improved the secondary, like if you're going to tell me that UCLA is going to have a defense that actually is like competitive in games after all the talent they lost last year, after all the talent they lost the year before, I'm going to be like, dude, Kike Malloy is a dude, man. That guy is awesome. He is just a baller, and UCLA has a fucking
just a baller, man.
Asset in him being their assistant coach, their defensive coordinator. This is awesome. So
I even forgot the old defensive coordinator's name. I don't even want to remember.
Whatever. That guy across town, Kamari Ramsey, scrub. I hate you, stupid Kamari Ramsey. Anyways, best of luck to those guys. But you know what I'm saying, Mike? Like, we know the offense is going to be improved because how could it not be? It's kind of like Deshaun Foster last year at Media Day. It's like he couldn't do worse. Well, the UCLA offense literally can't do worse this year. They can't. So if the defense is just kind of somewhere in the neighborhood of how they were last year, the Bruins are going to be vastly improved. And that's what I think people are sleeping on. Now, look.
Oh, definitely.
Is that a guarantee?
And that's what I said at the beginning of this podcast. It's
Absolutely.
like, it just seems like it's all coming together.
We hope.
And only UCLA knows about it.
We hope. We hope. But it's like there are reasons to be bullish, even if we still don't know.
Oh, totally.
Because there's still
they haven't proved anything. Yeah, they have not proved a single damn thing.
The 10th most turnover in NCAA football. So just keep that in mind. But like, if you want to like start squinting your eyes and dreaming, don't be like Dez, but you could be cautiously optimistic. I'm all for it. All right. So
totally,
Mike. That's all I have to say about this. So unless you have something else to say, we're going to save the more specific position talk and all that stuff. And one other thing I want to ask you, Mike, just real quick, just spend like 2 minutes on it. Coming out of Big Ten Media Day and listening to the podcast and all the car washes that happened with all the different Big Ten teams, just give me a top 3 of like Big Ten heat checks. Like, what are the teams? It doesn't have to be the order in which they're predicted to finish. UCLA was predicted to finish 15th by the Big Ten. We'll talk about that later. I'm saying, who at Big Ten Media Day stole most of the headlines, was the biggest story, was like the thing everybody was washing up? What was your thought on that? Just give me 3 teams that you were like, oh my God, they're talking about them.
I mean, you can't ignore Ohio State, who just won the championship, but
Ohio State.
And Ryan Day is gonna, he's gonna say coach speak. What's he say? We got to get better. We're gonna prove ourselves. You just proved yourself on the biggest stage, bro. But that's kind of my problem with Big Ten Media Days, is that it's 3 days long. I don't really want to see 3 full days, so I didn't really see it all. But I guess that speaks to the gravity or lack thereof of the impact some of the coaches made. And nobody really stood out. The Michigan coach was, I like his attitude.
Yeah, he's fun.
I'm blanking. Was it Franklin, Penn State's coach?
Yeah.
He was pretty confident. I liked his attitude. But yeah, nothing really stood out this year.
To me,
a lot of coach speak. Yeah.
Yeah. The three that were getting the most love, and these are teams that are in different tiers of the Big Ten. Number one, the one everybody was washing up, the one everybody was in love with, and the one that is expected to win the Big Ten. Penn State, with Drew Aller coming back and everything they have coming back, they're expected to win the Big Ten. They're expected to beat Ohio State. They're expected to go win the national title this year. Okay? That's what their expectations are. We'll see if they can live up to it. But Penn State got a lot of love at Media Day and from a lot of the pundits. Relative to Oregon State and not Oregon State, Oregon and Washington. Micah, you totally threw me off with your dragging, whatever you're dragging. But relative to Ohio State, I should say, and Oregon, who are both breaking into new quarterbacks, but obviously everybody knows they're going to be good. You know, the top tier of the Big Ten is Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, pretty much. But Penn State really got the love out of that tier. And then below that, the next tier, I thought that people were absolutely loving and fawning over Nebraska with Dylan Raiola coming the second year. And we'll see how good Nebraska is. But people loved them, a lot of that. And then people also were, Mike, a Bruin opponent this year, Washington. People were kind of like expecting big things out of Washington, even if they're not expected to win the Big Ten. People were expecting to be a lot more competitive than the Big Ten because that quarterback that threw for like 9,000 yards in his last game and, you know, and all that. And Jed the Fish, they're really impressed with him. So I'm curious to see how the rest of the offseason goes heading into the Big Ten season. But that's what I know is a Big Ten Media Day. Mikey?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to talk about before we get to what's wrong with you?
No, that's a good amount of coverage considering that aside from this, we've traversed through a very slow off season. I'm surprised we've been able to talk as much as we have. But no, it was a good media day from what I saw. Yeah, I just kind of a lot more impressed with Deshaun Foster and how his players just carried themselves. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. And now we're excited for fall camp, which apparently starts on Wednesday in Costa Mesa.
In Costa Mesa at the former Chargers facility, right? Chargers? It was
probably.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They said it. I heard it. I heard somebody say it for sure. Yeah, Deshaun said it out of his mouth. All right, here we go.
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah. What's brewing with you? What's brewing with me? What's brewing with you?
Mikey, what's wrong with you?
Oh, nothing. Just kids are off of school, so we're trying to figure out ways of not making them bored. But the fact that the kids are getting older, and the older they are, they're in different groups and camps. And my daughter started cheer camp this week, so yeah, it's just been busy with the kids. Haven't hit up the beach as much as we would like in an average summer, but we did go on Friday, and just really fun. Just empty. We had much of the beach to ourselves. But yeah, no, it's this week where it's going to be a little bit busy. Obviously, we have Deltron 30-30
tomorrow,
Tuesday. Yeah, from when we're recording. Yeah, Thursday is my son Hugo's birthday. He's going to be 11.
That's right.
He's going to flip out because I got him a Shohei Ohtani jersey, and then I'm going to try to take him to a game next week. So his little mind is going to be blown. A couple other things that are happening, but yeah, I saw the Superman movie last week. That was one of the things I did with the kids. I went to go see it. The first half, I liked it. It was like a little cheesy, a little too much, but I understand that they didn't want to do origin stories. They just kind of like want to hyper drive into this new DCU, and then the second half just absolutely fell in love with. And now Fantastic Four came out. You liked it?
I loved Superman. I haven't seen Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, no, we haven't seen Fantastic Four too, but no, absolutely loved Superman.
Love Superman.
And especially the whole punk rock edge.
That was great.
But yeah, no, Fantastic Four is coming out. We got to see that. The kids are demanding it, so that's probably a weekend thing that we're doing here. But yeah, tomorrow, Bellwether. I've never been there. I'm very excited to see this.
Cool venue.
I've only seen. I've never seen Dell perform in any capacity.
Me neither.
And I've seen Dan the Automator with Lovage. That was fun. But yeah, just the epic album that Deltron 3030 was, dear God, this is going to be awesome.
I think so. I think
If
so.
any of you follow me on Twitter, videos are incoming, people.
Oh, it's good.
You've
Good
been
job.
warned.
You can tweet so I don't have to. That's good.
Yeah. Jake, what's wrong with you?
My daughter, as I mentioned earlier, is going to Thailand in a couple days, so I'm a little wondering about that. She'll be gone for like a month and a half. That's Molly, my middle child.
Damn.
The cautionary tale I'll tell you right now is just last week we were driving up to Santa Barbara to drop off some of her stuff. We were caravanning. I was in one car and she was in another, and she was a little bit behind me because we had to stop and get gas. And she gets pulled over in Simi Valley and gets written a goddamn ticket. Okay, so number one, she was speeding. She should have got a ticket. Whatever. And I was a little nonplussed about that, but whatever. She gets pulled over. The thing is, I was on the phone for the whole call, and I was telling her what to say to try to minimize the chances of getting the ticket, and maximize the chance of getting a warning. And I'll be quite honest with you. As a law enforcement professional, unless I do something completely off the rails, I'm not getting a ticket. Okay, so I'm pretty comfortable with that fact. That just is what it is. But sometimes that courtesy can extend to your family members if you play your cards right. If your family knows how to play your cards right. And I thought I had them coached up. Apparently, I did not. But just as a word to a public service announcement to everybody out there, if you get pulled over by a police officer, or it's a sheriff, it's a LAPD, it's highway patrol, whatever jurisdiction you're in, okay, you always give yourself a better chance of not getting a ticket, of drawing a warning, if when they walk up to the car. And this is what I tell my kids. Number one is just have something ready, like your license or whatever. Have your hands on the steering wheel, roll down your windows, look at them, try to be as pleasant as you can, even though you're nervous, even though your sphincter is like as tight as it could be because you got pulled over by the cops. I understand people have this reaction. It's okay. You have to get through that. And so then you have your license or your registration. You can have one or the other or both, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just have something in your hand, hands on the steering wheel, window down. You look over the cop as they come up, and they're like, hey, hey, how you doing today? And you're like, sir, thank you, officer. Number one, just thank you for your service. I appreciate you. I'm sorry, whatever I did, please let me know what I did wrong. But, thank you for serving our community. I really appreciate that. Here's my license. Just start with that, right? Now, if you happen to be related to me, say, oh, thank you, officer. Thank you for your service. I really appreciate what you do. My dad happens to be an LA County sheriff, and I really appreciate what he does. And I just want to, thank you as well. Just a way to get it out there. Just get the fucking information out there. That's all we need. And then you let that cop decide whether he's going to write his ticket. But don't be a dick. Don't start saying what you didn't do. Don't, like right now, you just want to get out of your ticket. So just be nice and be pleasant and pull that tag. My daughter, and by the way, both daughters were in the car during this interaction, and both of them were very polite to the officer, but they never got out the spiel. And it's like, God damn it. Get the spiel out so you can not get a ticket. But they didn't, and they failed. And so now I have to deal with the ticket in another county while my daughter's in goddamn Thailand. And it's like, thanks a lot, Molly. This is great. So That's what I got to deal with. That's what's wrong with me. But otherwise, Superman was awesome. All right, Mikey.
Yeah, really quickly. Yeah, I got pulled over about 3 weeks ago because, there are new stricter laws. And I shouldn't have done this. I was trying to put directions into my phone and then put it up on my dash. In that whole interaction, CHP right next to me saw me pull over. I was like, and then I pulled over. I was like, nope, you saw me. I did it. That's on me.
Thank you for my service. My brother is a cop. His name is Jake Merrifield. Just use that. Hey, by the way, any of the What's Bruin Show listeners, I'm your brother. Just say, oh, my brother's a cop. It's fine.
Cousin,
okay.
My cousin.
Just use it. Who cares?
But no. I was like, I didn't argue. I was like, nope, you caught me. I was there. I broke the law. I knew I shouldn't. I did it anyway.
Luckily, Mike, that's not a movie violation, so you don't have to worry about your insurance on that one.
No, it's a citation, but But here's the other thing. So that was like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, for the last week, I've been trying to look it up because I get the last goddamn carbon copy of the ticket, and I can't read anything except for the goddamn citation number. I put the citation number in, and it's not found. Luckily, this one other site said, hey, sometimes it takes about 30 days to put it into the system. Might not be there. I actually got a number. I called. They're like, we don't have this one on file. Just keep checking back. And the thing that worried me, I was like, well, what is the time frame? And I think I saw that I have to report this by October, but I don't want to be sure. But yeah, it seems like it's probably October where I have to figure this out. So I have a little bit of time, but whenever you have a ticket, just take care of it, people.
Yeah, and if you need help with that, just send me a copy of the ticket and I can check it out for you. That's not a problem.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, bro. Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother Merrifield.
You're welcome. And like I said, use my advice when you get pulled over ever. Thank you for your service. You know, I really appreciate law enforcement because my brother happens to be a cop. My podcast partner happens to be a cop. My cousin happens to be a cop, and I just so appreciate what you do out there in the community. It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
It just lay it on thick, baby. That's the only chance.
So kiss ass. Okay, done. I'm doing that.
It's not kissing yet. No, this is what I told my daughter too. She's like, "Well, it sounds so cheesy." I'm like, "Look, do you appreciate that your father's been in law enforcement for 25 years? Yeah. Do you appreciate that he's a public servant? Yeah. Well, then if you just say that, you're not lying. You're not making anything up. You know, maybe if you're like, you're laying it on a little thick, sure. But are you lying? No. No,
you're not lying.
Definitely, could you give this speech if you get pulled over and you have a blunt in one hand and a shirt that says ACAB on it? Probably not. But I'm assuming that most of the audience is not in that position, right? You got a 40 in your hand and you got an FU to the police bumper sticker, then it's probably not going to work. But in any other circumstance, it's probably going to be okay. Mike, I don't know how you're rolling, but I'm assuming it's not.
How you doing, bro? Dude, like, dude, you want to hit this?
Yeah, exactly. He's got
that probably be bad.
He's got FTP across his back windshield. My tactic's not going to work in that particular scenario, but then again, oh well, that's a choice you made. That's exactly. That's what it is. All right, Mike, we're off the rails. I'm ending this now.
All right, we're done. We're off the rails like a crazy train. R.I.P.
Rip Ozzy. Oh God, this is a rough week. Hulk, Ozzy, Malcolm John Warner. Man, gee whiz.
Well, Hulk deserved to die. He was a piece of crap.
Oh, anyways, stop it, Mike. He was the fucking greatest wrestler of all time, arguably.
He's a racist, okay?
Mike, Mike, we're not getting into this talk. He was a real American. Stop. Okay. In all of his imperfections.
He's a real modern American.
Don't make me play the fucking song, Mike. I'll play you off. I'll hang up on you.
The Iron Sheik is better. The Iron Sheik is so much better.
Mike. I purposely didn't bring this up because I didn't want to get your stupid Iron Sheik take, but I'm gonna hang up on you, son of a bitch. Anyways, I'm sorry. God bless.
Hey, Andre the Giant is better than Hulk Hogan.
Okay, I'll take that argument.
No, you know what's weird?
We're not arguing about this.
Last piece of this. Yeah, Hulk Hogan was good. Andre was good. Blah blah blah. Roddy Piper for life. He's my favorite wrestler until the day he died. And the fact that he made an appearance on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia multiple times just encapsulated his Hall of Fame status in my head. So Roddy Piper, he's number one for me.
Mike, you know what? I came here to this podcast to chew some bubblegum and kick some ass and roll out of bubblegum. That's a good way to end it. So
love that.
And I can agree with you on Roddy. Okay, so we're ending the show. We'll be back next week with Wayne Cook, and then later in the week with Raina Troy, and then after that we'll do some more stuff leading into the UCLA football season. Super excited, and thank you very much. And Mike, until next time, what do we tell our people?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's gotta be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, bro, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.